Here's the latest on Brexit. As after days of negotiations and cross-party talks on the Brexit deal, Britain has now confirmed that they will take part in the European Parliament elections on May 23rd. With the breakthrough Brexit deal looking increasingly unlikely, there is not enough time left to get an exit deal ratified by the Parliament before the elections. UK was due to leave the EU on March 29th, but as no deal was agreed by Parliament, the EU extended the deadline to October 31st this year. UK can now leave the bloc earlier, but if the UK does not leave before EU polls, it is legally obliged to take part in the European Union elections and send members to Brussels and Strasbourg.
Well, the House of Commons has now had several occasions to vote on leaving the European Union, and so far, every time, there's been a majority against leaving with any particular orderly deal. So we're engaged as a government in talks with the opposition and with others across Parliament to try and find a way forward that has the maximum possible support amongst politicians of all political parties. But what this now means, given how little time there is that it's regrettably not going to be possible to finish that process before the date that's legally due for the European parliamentary elections. We very much hoped that we'd be able to get our exit sorted, have the treaty withdrawal concluded so that those elections did not have to take place. But legally, they do have to take place unless our withdrawal has been given legal effect. So those will now go ahead, but we will be redoubling our efforts and talks with MPs of all parties to try to make sure that the delay after that is as short as possible.
The deadline to register for the European elections was yesterday, and taking part in these fresh elections will cost UK over €110 million. In order to avoid taking part in the EU elections, UK government will have to get a draft Brexit deal approved by the Parliament before the deadline. While politicians scramble for a solution, the government has resumed talks with Labour to try to break the deadlock in Parliament. But according to May's spokesperson, Britain will hold elections to the European Parliament regardless of what happens in the ongoing talks with the opposition to pass a Brexit deal.